this. Hold up.
Hey guys, what's up? So today's video is kind of weird. It's definitely kind of different, but today I'm doing a story time video. I've honestly wanted to film this video ever since it happened, but in the back of my mind I was always kind of like, no, don't do it. Like, it's just kind of fun to look back, I guess, and be like, that really happened, and just to kind of laugh about it. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna be telling the story about my junior prom experience. If you know me, and I told you this before, it's definitely gonna be a good look into the past. I definitely wrote down a lot of notes on my phone just so I wouldn't forget anything. So if you see me looking at my phone, I have all the notes on there. It's a lot. Also, I did vlog this experience. It's a video on my channel, and I obviously didn't mark his face out or anything, but in this video, if I show pictures or anything, I'm gonna definitely mark his face out, just because the point of this is not to like expose anyone or anything like that. It's just a fun video to look back on and to kind of laugh at. I definitely am not like mad anymore, and if you happen to be watching this, obviously it's happened in high school. I'm not in high school anymore, so it's just kind of reminiscing, I guess. I'm gonna give you guys kind of a little backstory. So obviously it was my junior year, and that was the first year you can go to prom, like technically without anyone asking you at my school. I actually kind of liked going to dances.
They know. They know, they know, they know.
Also, quick side note, the guy in this thumbnail is not my date, or I would have blurred his face out. This is my good friend Andrew, and yeah, I just put him in the thumbnail. I know like some people just absolutely hate him and only want to go if they have to, or like only want to go to like take pictures. So I was like, you know, I kind of wanted to go. And the thing was, I obviously didn't have a boyfriend at the time. I wasn't super close friends with any other guy, really. Like, I mean, I was, but they were already going with somebody or something like that. So at the time, I knew of somebody kind of that I like kind of thought would be a decent person to go with, because and this is who I ended up going with, because my friends had told me that like leading up to this, he had been talking about me, saying that he like liked me and he was considering asking me. So they had told me that, so I already knew that he like was probably gonna ask me. So it was like a month before prom, and I was like, is he gonna ask me? Like, I would always kind of see him in the halls or whatever, and like nothing would ever happen. 3 weekends before prom, I basically like got tired of waiting, and I was like, is he gonna ask or not? Because I need time to plan. If you're a girl, you know, you need time to kind of plan and all that. I like asked my friends, I was like, can you please ask him, like, because they had classes with him and I didn't. I was like, can you please ask him to like hurry up or something? I talked to him, and they ended up getting back with me, and they were like, he says he's scared or something like that. Like, a few days later, I remember they ended up telling me that he was nervous because he really liked me. And I was like, I kind of already like knew that, and I was just like, I mean, I don't want to be mean, but I didn't like him back. I was like, I just want to like go as friends, you know, like people can do that. I remember them straight up telling me around this time that he didn't want to ask me because he didn't want to go if we were just friends. Tell me if I'm wrong, but to me that's kind of crazy. Like, if you like somebody, why, and they just want to go as friends, why would you not just go as friends? I was like, we can still go as friends. Like, I was so confused. At that point, I was tired of like communicating through my friends, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna straight up ask him. I like Snapchatted him, and I was like, hey, this is weird, LOL, but like, were you gonna ask me to prom or something? It was so weird. I was like, I like just heard around that you were thinking of asking me, and I would be down to go. So basically, I kind of ended up asking him. And I remember he like Snapchatted me back and he was like, oh yeah, this is so embarrassing, ha ha ha, like, whatever. And then he literally said, I swear I was gonna ask you tomorrow at school.
We are going to pretend we didn't hear that.
Tell me why that kind of sounds fake, because that's kind of like calling someone out and then being like, oh, I was just about to do it, but they really weren't, you know? So he basically said that he was gonna ask me tomorrow. But since I already brought it up, he just went ahead and asked me on text. At the end of the day, you know, promposals are just kind of fun. They're not really like necessary to do. You can casually ask somebody, but at the same time, my first experience, I kind of wanted it to be like that, but whatever. Right after that happened, it was like kind of late at night. Just sitting there and I was like, and I remember I was so upset. Anyways, that was pretty long backstory, and I'm hoping this video is super long because no one's gonna watch it. So I had a date. Okay, so I can't believe I skipped over this part, but so after we basically decided to go together, I can't remember the exact time length after, but he Snapchatted me and he said, you busy? And I said, no, why? And he said, I kind of need to talk to you about something I've been thinking on. Please don't take it personal, but I don't think you and me should go to prom together. So this was a total, like, blindside, and I was just kind of, like, really confused, and I, like, talked to him about it for a while, and I was like, why? And he was still over on the thing about not wanting to go because he liked me, but we talked through it for a really long time, and we both mutually decided just to continue to go with it and go together, which at the end of the day, I probably should have been like, no, I don't think we need to go. Or just like backed out, but you know, I was like, it'll be okay. I didn't think it was gonna be like such a big deal, but yeah. I realized that I really needed a dress, so I went dress shopping, and I can remember from this year it didn't take me very long at all to find a dress, which was good. But it was like this red, pink, mainly pink, darkish, like purpley maroon colored floral dress. It had like roses all over it. Right when I found it, I sent it to him. And I was like, this is what the dress is, obviously, so he could go ahead and get, like, his tie or whatever. And I just remember him, like, sending me a picture back and being like, okay, I think I'm gonna get this. What do you think? He literally sends me, like, a vest, I guess. I don't really know what it's called, but the thing that goes under the blazer. A matching tie that was, like, this black with red paisley print on it. And I mean, I'm not like a fashion icon really, but that does not go together, okay? Like a busy floral dress with another busy print. Like, it just doesn't work. And he was like dead set on getting it though. Like, he wasn't like, oh, you don't like it. Like, when he sent that to me, he had already ordered it. Sorry. So he already purchased it, and I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, but that just really doesn't go. Do you already have like a basic black tie you could just wear? Like, I'm really sorry, that just does not go. And at this time I was being really nice because like nothing had happened that was like terrible yet. And around this time I sent that to like all my friends, and I was like, do y'all think this matches? And I sent a picture of my dress and then what he got. And they were like, no. Like, apparently he was not gonna wear a black tie. Like, he said, no, I've already ordered this and my parents are gonna be mad if I don't wear it or something. I guess they paid for it. Remember everyone like that was going with our group to eat and everything, like pretty much everyone before then came to my house to take pictures like outside. He got there earlier than everybody else because we were going to take pictures like before everybody else came over. And when I tell you it was so incredibly awkward, like, I recommend going as friends obviously with people, but when you go, kind of make sure, this is just advice, make sure you go with somebody you are kind of like decently friends with. Like, me and him were not friends at all before this. And then we just like took a few pictures around my house together, and it was kind of weird because like Bailey was taking the pictures and obviously she was trying to make them like look good, and she was like, y'all laugh or like do this or whatever, and he was not doing anything. He was literally just like standing there and he was like And I also remember I was taking this picture. I remember the whole time like my mom was taking those, I think, on her phone, and Bailey was like over to the side and she was like, yeah, that looks good, like, yes. And I remember him just standing there, just staring at me. Like, literally being like, it was so weird. Like, I felt so awkward. And then everybody started to get there and whatever. And it was, like, less awkward kind of then because I was talking to, like, my friends and not really, like, talking to him because I just felt so weird and I needed to, like, calm down a little. Also, when we were taking pictures and everything, and he, like, showed up wearing that terrible vest and tie that, like, totally clashed, one of my other friends that kind of knew him was like, ew, what, like, they were just being, like, straight up. They're like, what are you wearing? Like, go change right now. Like, do you have another black tie? And he was like, yeah, I mean, I brought it. And they were like, you need to go change that right now. Like, that looks terrible, like, what you're wearing right now. And he was like, okay. And went and changed. So tell me why he couldn't have just listened to me the first time and, like, not even wore that. But he listened to that person. After we got done taking pictures, we were going to drive and go to another person in our group's house to take pictures, like, on the way to where we were eating. Got to her house and it was kind of normal. But I remember specifically we were taking these group pictures. We had, like, a professional photographer there or whatever, and she was taking pictures of all of our groups, like, everyone together. And she was like, y'all do something, like, silly or, like, crazy. And I was like, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. And literally he was just going, like, he didn't do anything. Now it kind of gets into, like, where it actually gets interesting. We were on our way to go eat. And I remember, like, a week before prom, I literally, like, thought that it would be cool to make a playlist on Spotify. Like, fun, like, dance songs and just, like, songs everybody knows and, like, to, like, hype us up, you know, like, fun songs. We got in the car and I was like, oh, can I play this? And he was like, yeah, like, whatever. He was just kind of like, whatever. And I was like, okay, so I played it and I started playing it. Literally one song in, he was like, can you, like, play, like, old country music?
Some of y'all about to be real mad at me.
Country is, like, the one genre I just, like, can't deal with, like, old country, like, and I was like, I guess, because, like, at the time, you know, I was just, like, being nice, like, whatever. After that, like, I played, like, one song and I just turned it off and I was like, guess we're not listening to music. So after I turned off the music, we were just kind of, like, talking about, like, random stuff. I can't even, like, remember exactly, but I just remember he got to, like, talking about, like, a career he wanted in the future or something. He was talking, like, deep combos to me and I was just like, and it was so awkward. One of the, like, major things about this was that the whole almost way up there, it's a 2-lane road. So one lane going this way, one lane going this way. It was like a 2-lane road. And we were one of the last ones to leave. Like, we were all, like, in a big caravan on the way up there and we were, like, the last ones. And I remember him just being like, we gotta hurry up and get there, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we're gonna get there around the same time. Like, yeah, it's fine. I just remember the speed limit was, like, 45. And he was literally going, like, 70. To make it worse, a slower car that was probably actually going the speed limit, but it was just going, like, a lot slower than he was, pulled out in front of us. And he got, like, really mad. And he was like, oh, my God, like, we gotta hurry up and get around this car, like, blah, blah, blah. Well, he, like, barely inched over to see if there was a car coming from this way because he was going to try to pass him. He barely looked. So then he, like, immediately went to get around him. When I tell you a car was no less than, like, 20 feet away coming. The car, like, we were passing had to, like, slam on its brakes so we could get over. So we wouldn't hit the car head on.
Call the police.
It was so sudden, like, I was literally sitting there like, that literally almost happened for no reason at all. So, at dinner, it was kind of weird. Like, obviously, we had to sit beside each other, and it was just kind of like, and I remember just, like, he barely was talking to me the whole time. Like, he was kind of friends with my friends just because they had classes together, so he was, like, talking to them kind of the whole time. And I remember we were leaving, and we were kind of running late to the dance. Like, it had, like, already started. And we were, like, an hour away. So we were like, we need to hurry. Everybody else was, like, waiting for their checks, obviously. And we had, like, multiple waiters and waitresses, like, helping our table. Because we had a huge table. And I just remember, like, they were all like waiting on their checks and like waiting to get their check back and to leave and whatever. Well, we were like one of the last ones to pay, and they were already like all getting up and leaving, and he was like, okay, let's go. And I was like, have we even paid yet? And he was like, no, I'm just gonna leave the cash on the table, and then like whatever's left they can just have it as a tip. And I was like, oh, okay, like whatever, because like obviously he was paying for mine, which was like nice, obviously. Well, there was like one other couple obviously still there, and I remember we were like walking out of the restaurant. I felt so weird. I was like, we didn't even actually like pay technically. Like, I remember the couple that was like still in there like ran out and was like yelling his name, and we like turned around. He was like, what? And she was like, did you pay? And he was like, yeah, I just left it on the table. And I just remember she was like, what? Like, why? And I was sitting there going, I'm thinking the same thing. We get to the dance, and obviously it had already started like a while before we got there. Got out there, whatever, and I think I had like literally talked to him before this even started. And I was like, hey, just, you know, I don't really feel comfortable with like dancing how like most people do at dances with you, because like we barely know each other and we're just going as friends. So I was like, we can just dance like normal, like, you know, like that's fun to me, you know, like that's not like weird or anything, like that's literally normal. Because I knew other people that I was friends with that were going with like other people they were just friends with, and that's what they did. So when we get there, he like expects me to do what I said I didn't want to, and I was like, we literally already talked about this though. And he was like, nah, like whatever. So the whole time I was just like, I'm not gonna let that bother me. So I literally was like dancing the way like I wanted to. He got kind of like mad. I remember he like walked away, and over half of the dance he wasn't even like with me. He would go and like talk to his other friend. I would have to like find my other friends and stand with them, and that was awkward too because they were actually dancing with like the person they went with. So I would just be like standing there awkwardly, and it was so weird, and I like hated that so much. Like I literally wanted to leave like 10 minutes in. Basically we waited until all my other friends left, and it was like 20 minutes before the dance actually ended, and they're like, we're gonna leave. So we're okay, we'll leave with y'all, whatever. We get back in his car, and he basically like explained and like shared how he felt, and he was basically saying like he really liked me, and like he was like, he knew that if we went as friends he was gonna fall for me even more, and like all this stuff. And I was just sitting there like so awkward, like, because obviously I did not like him back, and it was just very weird that he like felt the need to do that at that time. And I was like, yeah, like I'm sorry, whatever. And I'm pretty sure just to like waste extra time, he was like, is it okay if I wash my car? And keep in mind it was like almost midnight, and I was like, yeah, like I guess that's fine. So he like went through a car wash, just sitting there like in silence, like he wasn't playing any music. We were just literally just sitting there because he had already made it so awkward like when we got in the car. So then we did that, and this is just funny, but I tell like everybody this because it's so funny to me. But literally after like he washed his car and like the water was off his windshield, he had kept his windshield wipers on for like 10 minutes after, even though it wasn't even raining or anything. There was no water on his windshield, and it was making that awkward like noise like when a windshield wiper wipes but there's nothing there, and it's like sounds like nails on a chalkboard. So I was literally sitting there like, why? So then he dropped me off, and I remember him just like specifically being like, sorry, I just ruined this for you. Even though I the whole time never was like, I didn't have fun at all, like the whole time I was literally being like nice and was like, thanks for taking me, like, you know, at no point was I ever like, this is so stupid, like this is terrible. Like I was being nice the whole time. So him like being like that was kind of weird, and I was like, you didn't ruin anything, like it's fine, like whatever. And he was like, no, I just ruined this, like this was just terrible, like I'm sorry. And I was like, it's fine, like that was just such a weird time. He dropped me off and then I like changed out of my dress, and me and my sister went and got McDonald's or something, and I told her everything about it, and it was just such a weird time. Like I don't know, it was so weird, and she was just like cringing with me. We came back to school, my friends that had class with him were telling me that he was like literally telling everybody how, these were like his exact words that they told me he said, They said that he said that I was not like I seemed and that I was a controlling person. Which, when I look back, I'm like, what aspect of that, other than me telling him about his tie or whatever, was controlling? Him, like, telling everybody, because, like, obviously I'm not there to, like, defend myself. Because if someone tells you something about somebody, you're gonna either believe it or you're gonna, like, have that impression of somebody. My friend's telling me that he also said, like, he should have never went with me and that he could have asked somebody else. But it's, when I think about it, and I'm like, could you though? Period! Obviously it wasn't, like, crazy dramatic or anything, but at the end of the day it kind of, like, was, I guess. You expect to go with somebody and just, like, have a great time. That's not always how it happens, you know? So, I don't know. Overall, this is just a fun story. So, no hard feelings, but that was just a fun little story to tell. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you've never seen my face before, subscribe down below to see how to make a new video. You can also hit the notification bell if you want to be directly notified when I upload a video. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
Shake it,